أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن آياته خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف ألسنتكم وألوانكم إن في ذلك لآيات للعالمين. Allah says something very powerful that has many implications for us as Muslims living in a diverse society or wherever we are in the world. Allah says, of His miraculous signs is the creation of the skies and the earth. When Allah calls something His sign, it means it has to be revered and appreciated because it guides back to Him. Anything that guides back to Him should be acknowledged and respected. Now Allah says, of those signs, وَاخْتِلَافِ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ is the differences of your tongues. The different languages, different cultures in the world, that Allah Azza wa Jal created us from one human being, from one man and one female, and then created so many of you. And here He says, so many of you became so many different languages. So many different languages. Adam alayhi salam was taught al-asma, the words. That must have been one language, right? So all languages in the world are like the children of the language of Adam alayhi salam. All these different languages that are there are variations, further and further and further variations of the original language taught to Adam alayhi salam. So people that speak a language different than yours are not to be made fun of. They're supposed to be respected. What's coming out of their mouth is actually something tied directly to revelation. So you might think somebody who's speaking, Cantonese, somebody who's speaking Bangla, somebody speaking Punjabi, somebody speaking English, somebody speaking French, they sound weird, they sound funny. As a matter of fact, all of it should be respected because it's from the ayat of Allah. Allah says the different languages are His ayat. And then He adds, your colors. Different colors skin is a sign of God. So the fact that there are different ethnicities in the world, from the Muslim perspective, from the Quranic perspective, we're supposed to have respect for different races just because Allah called races themselves, different colors of skin themselves, a divine sign, a sign of Himself, a reminder of Himself. So when people look at the color of skin and consider someone inferior or superior or a hated race or a loved race, then that itself is a denial of the ayat of Allah. A person's skin is an ayah too. And you don't respect a person who's a different skin than you, you are disregarding an ayah of Allah. What a powerful teaching of the Quran. What a powerful way to combat racism. So how can you call yourself a Muslim and you have racist tendencies? Many paths to guidance for people who actually know. لِلْعَالِمِينَ. So what are we learning? People who are racist and still call themselves Muslims can't possibly be knowledgeable. Because people that have knowledge, they will take the lessons from this. They'll learn from this. May Allah remove racism and prejudice and a disregard for other cultures away from our hearts, because a disregard of that is in fact, these things are in fact disregard of the ayat of Allah. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.